Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be disproving the theory that Manchester United are actually title contenders for the Premier League. I don't know why the media have been caught up with this storyline, because we heard it all with Tottenham Hotspur about how they're going to win the Premier League, and look, now are they even competing for the top four? The media just love changing their mind, which are convincing the fans that they're actually going to compete. But don't worry, I am here to disprove this theory because of a multitude of reasons, and I'm going to get started with it right now. But before I go into this video, remember guys, make sure to like, comment and hit that big subscribe button right there. And make sure you guys give me your own opinion in the comments who you think will win the Premier League this season. So the first undeniable reason why I think Man United will not even win the Premier League, and I think most of you Man United fans will honestly agree, is the impact of Bruno Fernandes. And he has been your engine, he's been your spark. Ever since he joined your club a year ago, he's been the player who's been making chance after chance, risk after risk. He's one of those players who doesn't play sideways. He's not like a Harry Winks who likes going back to the goalkeeper, etc, etc. He actually wants to hurt teams and make decisive passes, even shooting out from long shots. But although he doesn't give the ball away, this is the risk and the high reward he's been given. Having 32 goal contributions in 28 games. That's actually unbelievable. And as a Liverpool fan, I can't even deny that he's one of the best players in the world right now, considering his form at the moment. However, when Bruno Fernandes does not play, Man United look like a completely different side. It's unbelievable. And you guys wouldn't even think that, considering you have the likes of Van der Beek, Pogba, Rashford, Martial, even Cavani. Like, he makes your side tick, and when he doesn't play, your winning percentage is just so much lower. His impact is unbelievable, and you can't keep relying on this source, because eventually he's going to get injured, or eventually he's going to have a natural decline in form. So what I'm saying, it's a massive ask to keep relying on Bruno Fernandes to keep giving you the goals when you should be looking at elsewhere, other creative players who's going to bring that spark to your side to create those goals. It's just too much pressure to put on one player, and I don't feel like naturally he'll be able to sustain this type of form, even though he's been doing this for a year, over a whole course of a season. So that's the number one reason why I feel like Man United will not win the Premier League. The second reason why I think Man United will not win the Premier League is because your side relies on too much individual brilliance. Although you've been playing much sharper, much better attacking football going forward, scoring all those goals, I still do not see a clear-cut philosophy unless you're playing counter-attacking football against Leeds. We saw this against West Ham, where you were so terrible, so lethargic, so pathetic in that first half, where West Ham should have been 2 or 3 goals in front. However, it had moments of brilliance of Paul Pogba scoring that great finesse goal. You had that moment of brilliance of Greenwood taking that nice sharp first touch, scoring the goal into the bottom corner. You can't keep relying on these moments of brilliance. You have to be able to sustain great attacks as a whole team to compete for the Premier League title itself. These moments are going to run thick and dry, and when you don't have these moments, you're not going to be able to score the goals. We even saw this against Southampton, where Man United were pathetic in the first half, conceding 2 goals, and it took that magical substitutions of Edson Cavani to score 2 goals in the second half, including that all-decisive winner in the 90th minute. You can't keep relying on these golden chances. You can't keep relying on these individual brilliance of world-class players. Like, people need to realise the system is much greater than their counterparts. That's why we've seen Liverpool, although they have been playing poor all season, unfortunately, so many injuries, like it's just a headache. However, the system Jurgeon Klopp inputs is the reason why we're still near the top of the table. This is because we still play fluid attacking football due to Jurgeon Klopp's philosophy of high press, using the wing backs to get those crosses in. Like, even if we have bad games, we still have that philosophy to create chances. Man United do not have that philosophy. They still have to rely on moments of brilliance. And if you're telling me you're going to be relying on inconsistent players like Greenwood, players like Martial, players like Rashford, Pogba, I know he just come into form recently, but you're telling me you're going to rely on these inconsistent individual brilliance of these type of players to win the Premier League, that's absolutely a joke, and they're not going to be able to sustain this title run. So the third reason why I feel like Man United will not win the Premier League is because of the inconsistency of their front three. However, before it looks like I'm sounding like a hater, let me give Man United its credit considering David De Gea, who's been off form for the last 12 to 18 months. However, he's gone back into form, back into the days of the 2014 to 2017 seasons, where he looked like consistently he was saving Man United from relegation under David Moyes and Louis van Gaal. He looks like in that type of form. And even Harry Maguire, let me give him his props, man, because at the beginning of the season against Crystal Palace and Tottenham Hotspur especially, he was absolutely atrocious. Now, under the radar, no one's trolling him anymore. He actually looks like a respectable centre-back, maybe not worth £80 million, but he has improved Man United's defence undeniably. However, let me just get into the bread and butter why I feel like Man United's front three are just not good enough. The history of the Premier League shows you and dictates that you need a 20-plus goal scorer per season to even win the Premier League. We can talk about Aguero, we can talk about Robin van Persie, we can even talk about these introverted wingers such as Salah, Mane, you can talk about Diego Costa, Didier Drogba, like so many great goal scorers. But Man United do not have that sort of player. These are the type of players who need 1 or 2 chances to score a goal, even when there's not that many chances. Players like Martial, players like Marcus Rashford especially, it looks like he's a world beater scoring 3 goals against Leipzig, and then another game against PSG or Leicester, you're scratching your head thinking, how has he scored 4 to 5 goals? Like, he's so wasteful with chances. Even Martial has had a bad start to the season, hasn't scored in 67 games. It took that game against West Brom to register his first shot. These players are just too inconsistent to rely on to get big goals in big moments when it truly matters. Don't talk to me about that goal against Wolves where Rashford scored that lucky deflected goal, man. This does not happen consistently. Think about it. When Man United in the gutter and have 1 or 2 chances in a game, are you really going to trust Marcus Rashford? Are you going to trust Martial? No, you're not. I can't lie, I underestimated, as so many Man United fans did as well, underestimated his impact on the team, thinking that he was going to be a sorry bye like Alexis Sanchez. However, he has been scoring so many pivotal goals when it really mattered, and he does look like a superb signing. However, his world-class days of scoring so many goals for Napoli and PSG are past him. You can't rely on him to get 20-plus goals. Even Greenwood, who's Man United's best finisher at the club undeniably, like, he's not been performing this season because of personal reasons, understandably. However, so he's your best goal scorer. However, he hasn't been scoring the goals. So what do you expect Rashford and Martial to do when it truly matters most? These aren't title-winning goal scorers when it really matters. Their only chance to do this if they get goals by committee, which they have been doing so far, with Bruno Fernandes been chipping in so many goals. Links back to my impact point. Imagine if he's not scoring, he's not going to be able to build these sort of players out week in, week out, like he's been doing. So the fourth reason why, and the last reason why I think Man United will not win the Premier League, is because how quickly everyone forgets, especially Man United fans on Instagram, on Twitter, always talking. They just forget that there's actually other teams which exist in the Premier League magically. Like Liverpool and Man City do not exist. Like, these two gigantic teams have not been dominating the Premier League for the last 2 to 3 years. And Man United suddenly have the audacity thinking that they can win the Premier League in spite of these two teams. These two teams haven't been playing well. These two teams have been stuck in second to third gear, whilst Man United have been playing at their absolute best. Liverpool have been flooded with injuries. If you saw the last game against Southampton, we had to play Henderson centre-back. We ended with Bruno right-back. We ended with Fabinho centre-back. We had our midfield playing at the back, and we only conceded 1 goal. Even Man City flooded with injuries. Aguero didn't even have their first team goalkeeper against Chelsea. Didn't even have Walker at right back. Didn't even have Laporte. But they're still in and about the Premier League. So imagine if Liverpool signed a centre back. Imagine if these players start to perform well. Imagine when Liverpool get Jota back. Don't you think the impact's going to be sudden like he was at the beginning of the season, scoring big goals against West Ham, Arsenal, Sheffield United? Are you just going to forget about that? Imagine if Man City get that goal-scoring threat, Jesus or Aguero, which they've been needing for the last 67 weeks. Don't you think they're going to start scoring goals again, considering how well their midfield performed against Chelsea? Are you just forgetting these facts? Man United have been playing at their optimum level. Paul Pogba is just known to be inconsistent. We've seen this for the last 3 to 4 years, that people are like, where's his best position? Is it on the left? Is it on the right? Is it in the up front? Is it in the cam? Is it as a CDM? Everyone's been confused of where his best position is. So I've heard this conversation happen so many times. Paul Pogba's back. Pog back. We're actually going to compete for the Premier League. But after 3 to 4 games, Paul Pogba goes back into his little show, complaining to his agent, saying that he wants to leave Man United. So don't give me that crap that Paul Pogba is going to be the reason why Man United are going to win the Premier League. Man United have been performing at their absolute peak, absolute best. People aren't thinking, oh yeah, Man United got another gear. People are just saying that they're performing as if they're title contenders, as that's their best level. So wait for these other teams to actually show up and show why they've been dominating for the last 2 to 3 years, and why the narrative should not be Man United are title contenders, should not be Spurs are title contenders. Even people were saying Chelsea were title contenders at the beginning of the year. Let the season play out as it usually does, and we're going to be seeing Liverpool and Man City, the monopolised teams, at the top of the Premier League once again. So Man United fans, I'm sorry to break it for you. You are not going to win the Premier League, and if you do, I'm going to be absolutely shocked. But thank you guys for watching my video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. And you tell me, especially Man United fans, if realistically you think you're going to be able to win the Premier League this season.